Right now, you're addicted to survival mode and it's ruining your peace. And you may not even realize the impact that this chaos has on your life. This constant need to be surrounded by certain energy and certain forces that make you feel something. This constant confusion where you get placed in a position of true silence and you feel like something's off. But I'm here to let you know that silence and peace is not the problem. Your constant desire to be in environments that make you feel something is the problem. And one of the crazy things that so many people don't realize is the fact that they normalize this form of chaos. If their life isn't stressful or dramatic, then it feels off. But as human beings, we have to get to the point where we're okay with being at peace. This was one of my biggest challenges to actually learn and take in, understanding that love and trauma bonding are two different things. True, genuine happiness and peace is something that we have to always put ourselves in a position to acquire and not confusing and mistaking it for everything else. But this survival mode that you may be in is nothing more than a trauma response. It's not a lifestyle. You put yourself in a position to adapt to the pressure, not to the peace. And I know as we all grow and expand, we eventually get to the point where we realize and we sit and ponder on everything that we may have went through. And if you take a moment to think about that right now, ask yourself, how many things have I done because I genuinely wanted to versus the mindset of just being in survival mode versus me just reacting because I may feel like I need that form of chaos in my life to actually make me feel something. This feeling that you're seeking, this energy that you may feel like you need should come from your purpose. It should come from your drive. It should come from you getting the things that you want to get out of your life, not this emotional imbalance that comes with chaos, not you being put in a position where you have to go through hardships and you have to acquire, scars and have more wounds and things that you have to heal from in order to feel like you're growing. Based on the way that I was raised, I used to do this. I used to feel like I had to feel pain in order to grow. And in some cases, that's true. But pain is not the only thing that you grow from. You can grow from being at peace as well. You can grow from turning away from that form of chaos and choosing to live a better life. But this form of survival mode that you may be in, I promise you, it is ruining your peace. It is probably one of the only reasons that you can never mentally stay grounded. Focus on your emotions and how you feel on a daily basis. And if it's a constant roller coaster, then you have to take a step back and look at the decisions that you've been making, the things that you've been allowing in your life, the energy that you may have around you, because this plays such a huge impact on your overall well-being. And so many people normalize this form of chaos, this stress, and even unpredictability because peace feels boring. When you may be at peace, it doesn't give you that rush like going through something does. But it is not healthy for you to allow this to go on any longer. If you're in a relationship right now that is not serving you, or if you have a partner or anyone that you may be dealing with, and there's this constant need for chaos, you are trauma bonding. It doesn't matter if you've been together 1 year or 10 years. I finally got to the point in my life where I realized that true love and that love that we all feel like, we need should be based on peace. How does this person make me feel deep down inside? Does it make my spirit, and is the energy something that's free flowing, and do I feel like peace when I'm around them? Not how many things can I get through, not how many times can we argue and overcome this challenge. Because I used to take this same type of mindset that I have towards life and being able to overcome each and every challenge and apply this to relationships, and that is just not the case. You are setting yourself up for failure. And what I've learned is the fact that when peace finally does show up, you self-sabotage it. And you only do this because of past habits. It's not in your routine to feel that sense of peace. So why is it that you allow yourself to endure it any longer? We have to start choosing ourselves for once. We have to start choosing to be happy and to be at peace and to enjoy the life that we so desperately feel like we deserve to enjoy. But this form of survival mode really does teach you to anticipate danger. It doesn't teach you to enjoy life. It doesn't teach you to set your mind on the positives that you may have going on around you. And one thing that I'll let you know right now is that when your mind is so focused on the negative things that's going on around you, this is all you're going to see. The true blessings that God has in store for you, you may overlook because you're anticipating this form of danger, or you're anticipating this bad energy Your mind is not focused on what's to come. It's focused on everything that you may have went through and the trauma that you may have acquired in your lifestyle. So now this is what you're looking forward to in the future. This is what your mind is focused on. This is all you're caring about. It's very important that you understand that the way that you process things mentally, your current state of mind is going to be a reflection of your reality. The things that you allow to sit and ponder on, the things that are in your mind, whether you realize it or not, are going to play out in your future. It's called manifesting. It's called turning your thoughts into reality. It happens to so many people on the daily basis. Just think about anything that you may have went through or anything that you sat and pondered on for a long period of time, and I guarantee those things eventually, if not, played out into your life. This is just how life works. But real growth, it allows you to relax without that form of guilt, without needing to always feel something. Set your focus on what truly matters in your life and be content with who you are and where you're at, because this will allow you to grow. But right now, it's time for you to rewire your brain, because chaos is not your home. Peace is. You have to choose peace. Just think about how many more better decisions that you'll be able to make in your life if you weren't thinking in a more reactive way. When you're thinking to really understand, thinking from this form of peace and prosperity to actually grow and expand, not from this form of negativity and chaos and bad energy. I guarantee your responses to life and the things that happen in your life will be more positive, they'll be more worthwhile, and eventually in turn, they will help you elevate. I'm telling you right now, you are going to have to make a conscious decision to rewire your brain. You know that nobody is going to do it for you. You know that nobody is coming to save you. And that's okay, because you do not need to be saved. You need to be conscious, because when you're conscious, you're able to be there and provide for yourself and make those adjustments so that you can have and live a different lifestyle. And one thing that took me so long to overcome is the fact that peace feels strange to somebody who is used to pain. When you're used to going through hardships, when you're used to certain experiences and certain imbalances, whether it's in love or just in life, when you finally do experience that form of peace, it is not going to feel regular to you. But you just have to understand, just because it doesn't feel regular doesn't mean that it's not right. It doesn't mean that you aren't exactly where you need to be. At some point, you have to elevate and you have to grow. Whether you realize it's in your best favor or not, you have to accept this. And I used to do this so much because I was in a position where I was in a very toxic relationship, and I never fully accepted when I had to remove myself and I started to feel more at peace around other people, because I'm so used to not being at peace and it's not comfortable for me to be in that current state. So it almost felt wrong. I almost felt guilty. I almost felt like this isn't where I needed to be because it didn't challenge me, or it didn't give me that rush or that thrill that I'm so used to having. That's why it's important to be conscious of where you're at mentally, understanding your bad tendencies and how you may have allowed something to be dragged on so long to a certain point where you think it's regular, but it's not regular and it's not okay. You have to get out of that survival mode way of thinking. Life is not about surviving. Life is about living. Life is about being at peace and being able to enjoy yourself. But you are not going to be able to do this until you accept what's happened in the past and turn away from it. It may not even be your fault that you went through what you went through, but it is your responsibility to allow change to come into your life. It is your responsibility to accept things for what they are and to go out and get something different. That's all that life is about. We all go through and experience things that we may not be fond of. We may all get put in a position where we may be surviving and not living. But the question is, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to put yourself in a position to acquire this type of lifestyle that you want to live? Because sitting around isn't going to solve it. But this form of always being in survival mode will compromise your peace. And one thing that I've personally witnessed about family and about friends that are in survival mode is at some point during life, they become desperate. Just think about it. Think about wild animals. Think about how they live when they hunt, when they go out and get their food. You know, at some point when resources become scarce, you become desperate. And when things get desperate, you eventually start moving different. You eventually start making irrational decisions. And as human beings, I've seen so many people jeopardize their freedom and their overall peace to make ends meet. And you do not want to be put in that position. You don't want to be put in a position where you're 40 years old and you get desperate because you may have kids or you may have a family. And now you're putting your life at risk in order to make something happen for yourself. You have to make those changes now and make those necessary adjustments so that you can avoid all of that. Life does not always have to be a constant battle for you to win. You can accept that calmness. You can accept that internal peace and just tell yourself, like, maybe I deserve it after everything that I've went through. Maybe it's okay for me to feel how I feel right now. Is it strange? Of course. Am I used to it? Not at all. But right now I'm going to enjoy this peace because I haven't been here before. And I'm going to make this more of a routine in my life to be more accepting and more open to things like peace coming into my life. And that's really what it's about. But it's going to take you rewiring your brain, reprogramming yourself, being thankful that you're even able to be put in this position right now for it to stay long term. But if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much. It's your boy Blue Jay Tay. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.